Hi there, and welcome to another episode of the Silver Screen Show. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm once again joined by our regular panel, Alenia, Pam, and Mo. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks very much.
Before we start, you're not too heartbroken by the big news coming up Hollywood with the split between Jolie and Pitt.
Heartbroken.
Twitter is literally blowing up.
It is
People are
sad.
getting-
I can.
People are getting really
it's pretty
emotional.
sad.
I don't trust in love anymore.
I don't trust.
I just keep thinking of the time, where they had to break the statue in Madame Tussauds.
That's
And
just cheap publicity.
yeah,
Cheap publicity.
and replace Aniston with Jolie.
And it's working. So
and
they're
just-
taking
it's-
joy in other
it's
people's
just karma. I
pain.
think it's karma.
Yeah.
Right, now that's over with. Let's go on with the show. First review coming up, Don't Breathe, starring Stephen Lang, Jane Levy, Dylan Minnette, directed by Fede Alvarez. He did the Evil Dead film from last year. So just a quick intro. It's about a group of thieves who break into a house of a blind man, and it all goes wrong, basically. And the guy's kind of crazy.
And wrong for the burglar, not for the guy being robbed.
It's wrong for everyone. So, more at the end. Let's go with you. Initial thoughts.
Well, I mean, this whole year has been a year of horror films.
Yes,
There have been
great.
so many, and quite a few good ones. So this one came in with a lot of competition at its heels.
Yeah.
I thought it was well done with that respect. There were at least some very exciting scenes, really thrilling, and quite hair-raising, bone-chilling at some of the
I have
points.
to say the filming was amazing. Some of the tracking shots in the house where like it starts from the old man's bedroom.
You're right.
and
There was
goes
a really
down
long,
into the thing.
there was a
that-
long take shot, wasn't there? It was
Really
pretty
built up
good.
the tension, and I think I love that part of the film. The whole cinematography, the whole building up the suspense.
Yeah,
was
I
amazing.
agree. And when the lights completely went out in the
Oh, yeah, I
basement
think that-
and the night vision camera came out,
Yeah.
that was very tense.
In the
Yeah.
basement, I think that is probably one of the best action scenes I've seen probably in a long time.
In a long time.
Not even just this year.
Just because it was so different, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it's so different. It was like
Yeah, you don't see those night vision cameras being used as often as
Anymore,
they
right?
should.
it was like
recent
there was a scene in Kick-Ass I recall the night vision. This one's a lot more intense.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
bunch of defenseless
It was
kids.
building up the tension quite nicely, and
Mm.
you thought they'd be okay, but then no. It's got a couple of jump scares in it, just,
And it's a
just
horror
for good
film.
measure.
There's gonna
Yeah.
be a dog jumps out of nowhere, obviously standard,
Yeah.
that's what happens. So if I go on the bad side of things, I will probably say there's a certain twist. I won't spoil it for everyone, but there's a twist in the middle, and to me it seemed like a cheap way to make us go against the blind guy and root for the heroes.
Talking
So,
about that twist.
that
okay.
twist,
Yeah.
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 So I mean, did you guys like it? I mean, a lot of critics.
I didn't.
No.
I didn't mind it
No.
at all. I
No.
thought it was okay. They had to make the blind guy the villain at some point.
Yeah, at some
and they
point.
had to bring some story
But
element
then,
into
and
it.
then they gave one of the robbers like a sad home story, so
Yeah.
Oh,
that
didn't they?
you're
Yeah.
You know, I was-
rooting for her to
Yeah.
steal his
Oh,
money.
please steal the money. Yeah,
Really?
it's for your own.
I think Pam wants to get something.
No,
in
I
there,
said
so-
I was rooting for the blind guy throughout
I think
the film.
everyone rooted for
I
the
think
blind guy at the
even
beginning.
though I think the director somehow wanted us to hate him.
Of course, like it's an
I
antagonist
mean,
protagonist.
he's an
dynamic.
antagonist-protagonist game, yeah. But I mean, yeah. So that's why that cheap twist was.
I think
was
it was. I mean, they could have done it in a better way. I mean, it got a
Yeah.
bit too goofy at the end. I thought.
Yeah.
To be honest, none of
Let's-
the
yeah.
heroes were likable,
Yeah.
and one of them pretty much dies. He dies in the trailer, so not a spoiler. He dies off the bat, like
Yeah.
good. And the other two, like you're breaking into
They're-
old guys' house.
they're-
Like just
it's funny though because that one guy dies straight away, and then the other guy he goes through so many different
so
things
much, yeah.
and doesn't
Duh.
die. Why
He's like
not?
Jason Statham in this. He gets thrown for a
Nine
window.
lives,
Like,
right?
Yeah, 9 lives.
Yeah.
He is a cat.
He's
considering
like
he's built like a
cat.
little teenager, man. The man gets chucked. He gets like this old guy's pummeling him, and he's still like. Cool,
He
I'm-
takes it like a champ,
He takes it
doesn't
like
he?
a
Yeah.
champ.
and gets back up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But
Mo said last week about Lights Out, last month, saying that no one was stupid in that film.
Everyone was
Which-
stupid.
Everyone was stupid in this movie.
could
It's like
escape so
the
many
guy
times.
can hear you, so don't move.
Even the dog was stupid.
No,
Going
rather
into
than
that
the
air
blind
vent
guy.
was
Yeah.
The blind man was the most intelligent, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, like she's like bring me lemon. You're trying to
What are
hide
you
it.
doing?
Just cover
Yeah,
your mouth.
just
Like-
cover your mouth, right?
And yeah, so I
Make
mean,
noise.
I think the ending, what I would have preferred is if they all just died and the camera cut to black.
Yeah.
That'd be nice, ending, like, you know what's
The
different.
criminals get what they deserve.
Two is there. I mean, the guy, the old blind guy, he is bad guy. Oh, the twist kind of makes
Bad
him a
guy.
bit,
Yeah, I mean, the
but still,
pervy
I'd have been
angle
happy
wasn't
if
that
that didn't
good.
happen and
Yeah.
he just killed them.
There's a little bit of perv
And
the
when-
angle towards the story.
as much as I would have liked it, I quite like the fact that they found a lot of ways to get the people back into the house, get them locked some way, and then start mystery
Absolutely,
back.
yeah.
However, the third act of the film did really like extend it too much.
Yeah.
Like when
It
she
just
got back
happened over
out.
and over and over again.
I
And then
think
she's
the first
back
half was probably, I said, this could be one of the films of the year. And the ending just like, you kind of really put a downer on it for me. I'm like, you know what? I now think more of the ending than I do of the beginning.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like,
It's very cinematic
Yeah,
and nice
yeah,
to look
it's-
at. Yeah, that.
Stephen Lang did a great performance, by the
Oh,
way.
he was
He
great.
was really
fantastic.
Yeah, really good.
really
wasn't he?
intimidating.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he barely said anything.
Yeah,
But-
I thought when I'd see him, I'd just think of the Avatar, because he was
Yeah.
the villain in the
Now
Avatar.
he's just
but
a nice
he wasn't.
ripped old guy.
Yeah, ripped old guy. My God, he was like, quite something.
He was crazy.
Right, so let's bring this to an end now. Elenia, starting off with your 3-word review.
I would say it was ruined by story. So it looked
Savage.
great, but the backstory of the criminals and the twist to make us hate the blind guy just
Yeah.
unnecessary.
It
Oh,
really was.
they had the ladybug
Yeah.
tattoo and the ladybug
Yeah,
backstory.
exactly.
She was trapped in there like a building and suddenly ladybugs. And I'm like, oh, that's my inspiration to live.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
the lady,
Typical Hollywood,
ladybird,
Typical Hollywood, yeah.
cliche all the way.
Yeah, so my 3-word review is going to be spooky yet weird.
Very weird.
Yeah, because of that.
Because of that twist. People are like, what is this twist?
It
I need to
gets
see
me
that because of
off
this
the bat.
twist.
Just watch it to see how
They're gonna
weird
go
the
in
twist
droves
is.
now just to watch the twist. I'm so disappointed.
Mo?
I would say third act. What? It was
Savage.
just
Savage.
Yeah. What did you do, Mr. Director? You had such a gem in your hand.
It
You're doing
really
so
was.
well.
I mean, it sounds like we're raining
It's
on the
going
third
really well.
half, but third
Yeah.
act, but it really
Yeah,
was.
I would say that the film is worth watching just for the first two acts.
Oh, yeah,
It is
definitely.
such a well done film.
And just to see how he filmed
Yeah.
those scenes in
Yeah.
the house.
And the
between
stalking
them.
phase of it, like the,
The
predator
stalking
part. It's
phase.
like,
Yeah, the
It's
whole film is in
fantastic.
that house, and still it's such an engrossing film.
True,
It's not an easy
Yeah.
thing to do.
I mean, that's why I said my review was shame about finale. I mean, the first two
Yeah.
acts was amazing. I thought it's definitely film of the year. Then third act kind of just like, you know, you either like it or you don't.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
subjective to your opinion. And you know what, I would say Lights Out or Last Month probably beats it in the general scheme of things if I had to compare the two. So yeah. Moving on to second review, Kubo and the Two Strings. This is kind of a niche film. I mean, it's produced by Laika Studios. I mean, they're very out there. It's not like Disney where billions and billions of money
Did you,
pumped into animations.
even though you say that, did you know Leica is owned by the founder of Nike?
Is it?
Yeah.
That's a
What?
random fact.
And Nike, the founder's son is the one directing the film, Mr. Knight.
is it?
Yeah.
Some Wikipedia research right there, man.
Well, yeah, I just know from my sources.
So basically, Kubo is a film. It stars the title character named Kubo who goes on an adventure to save his mom from stuff. So,
Get back his family
yeah,
armor,
evil spirits, fight
Yeah,
evil
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 spirits,
monsters.
yes.
So we started off with last time, so let's go with Elenia.
Yeah, I thought it was again a beautiful film. So
Animation.
the animation for it was amazing, and
It's stop motion. That's what caught me. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, it's
Yeah.
literally some guy just sat
That
there
is,
Yeah.
yeah.
making
So-
this epic.
I said before it's the same guy that did Coraline and Box Trolls, and Coraline. When I remember seeing Coraline for the first time and being just amazed at how unique it was compared to all the other animated films that come out.
It's not the standard Disney animation sense, isn't it?
No,
It's got a
exactly.
nice dark
I mean,
style.
Disney's not bad.
Yeah, Disney, but it's nice to have
Disney's
a
got their
change
own
of scenery from the
Yeah.
film.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, stop motion is a welcome breath of change, and it was so well done. You couldn't really tell it was stop motion, especially the water. The water was so well animated. I don't even know now how they must have done it.
I mean, I think I'm pretty sure they did a bit of CGI in it, but the main part. I mean, I saw the
must
skeleton
have.
fight they have.
Yeah.
The whole puppets get up there is. I'm like, wow, that is.
I just love the origami part. It's
Oh, yeah,
so
that was
nice.
so beautiful, yeah, it's like
so
that.
beautiful.
The film itself was very
Yeah.
well done. I mean, that's one of my main points. Like, it's gorgeous, you know, from that. But I also think the casting was spot on. I think Matthew McConaughey, you know, spot on with the
Very good as a silly,
Bantosaurus
Yeah.
beetle. You know, it's like just
silly beetle.
silly
yeah.
beetle one-liners.
Silly
You know, the
beetle,
dopey guy, and I think.
And Charlize Theron does really well with that no-nonsense kind of character.
Yeah, it was
It's
like the
you
comic
will
feel.
do what I say.
Yeah, it's the standard buddy cop, isn't it? The stern one and the guy who's just laid back, you know.
The good one, the good cop.
Good
bad
cop, bad
Yeah.
cop
Yeah.
dynamic, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think,
then
yeah.
I remember giggling to myself because I just heard George Takei say, "Oh my."
Oh my!
They had to get that into that.
They had
That's
to,
contractual.
exactly. They just had to.
Yeah, I mean, Ralph Fiennes also in it as well, so, you know, playing the bad guy, standard.
Yeah.
I mean,
I called it.
called it last
Yeah,
month,
actually,
yeah.
yeah.
I just
I mean-
want to add, like, visually, it's all great. It's a beautiful piece of thing to watch. But the story could have been a bit better because I think it's quite predictable. Like as you watch it,
Yeah, I mean,
you can tell what happens. I was expecting, when the guy says, when the mom says the story, I was expecting something different. Like there's a twist.
yeah,
there.
like she's not telling him the entire
Yeah,
truth.
so the mom's
Yeah.
a bit dodgy.
Because she's like, don't go in the
is there
dark.
some
Like, why?
secret?
Is there a reason? Yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean, when the mom's saying, yeah, my sisters are bad, my father was bad, your grandfather. So, I mean, that actually happens.
To be honest, I was thinking maybe the mom's got an agenda here.
Yeah,
we don't know
even I
enough
thought
about
the
her.
same.
Maybe the
Yeah.
mom what?
She has
Has
got
an
an agenda
agenda.
here. Like,
An
we don't know
agenda.
enough about her.
I
A
actually
woman
thought she
who has a
wasn't.
serious head injury.
Yeah.
That's an agenda.
It could be a bit
I actually thought
isn't
she
it?
wasn't the real mom. She was an imposter.
Yeah, I saw that, 'cause
And
That's
you
what I
don't
thought
know.
as
actually
well.
going to find his
Sometimes,
real
you know,
mom.
the way they, like...
She's like, don't ever go outside. Like, why?
Yeah, the way she was filmed, it was like,
It was a bit creepy looking, but when she
Is
woke
she
up
the
and she was like,
antagonist?
Turned out she was just another controlling mom.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
but
But
yeah,
it is a bit like Coraline in Coraline, the second mum that Coraline finds through
The other
going.
mum.
Yeah, the other mother.
Right.
so
She
not,
goes.
no wanting to spoil anything, it pretty much follows the Coraline. Like, you
Oh,
say.
yeah.
But it's the same thing as
Yeah.
like they're going after the eyes.
Okay.
Eyes.
So the
Yes.
other mother wants Coraline's eyes, and the grandfather wants Kubo's eye.
He's got eye thing for eyes, you know.
And
Mr.
even when the grandfather comes in the end, I expect him to be
It was
good. Like there's another like,
Yeah.
but
They
then
were-
again he's evil. I mean,
It was
but,
anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Very,
a
very
little bit.
anticlimactic.
So,
The monster the grandfather turns
whatever the
into
story, yeah.
was a very cliched monster.
That
you could,
was indeed.
You could think that they took it from the Avengers.
Yeah, and then
I'm
it was
sure
a
there's
bit,
a
it's like a
Chinese
bit,
mythology
The
behind it.
Chitauri worm.
Yeah.
That's
the
what it
resolution was
looked
a
like.
bit weak. It's like, okay, I'm not that I want to say what the ending is. It's just like, oh, is that it? It's like, that's his comeuppance. It's like,
Yeah, but I suppose you have to think the context this film is in. It is really a kid's film.
kids
Yeah,
film.
nice.
And I
yeah.
suppose they just wanted to have a happy ending no matter what. They didn't want to complicate the matter too much.
What did you think about the ending?
yeah, I'm saying the ending was just like, it's
I
just,
mean, the grandfather thing. I mean, they removed the whole agenda, right?
yeah, I'm saying, yeah, it's kind of like, he's like, he's after he's gunning for you. His two daughters are going to kill you.
Yeah.
I want you. Then in the end, he's like, oh, okay.
The daughters were quite scary.
They were.
When they first
They were
came
nice.
out,
I mean, they did their
and they
Well,
revealed their
yeah.
faces.
Yeah.
Yeah, when
They-
when we're thinking like, is the mom evil?
Yeah.
This is, yeah, no, sister, they're evil.
Yeah,
They're-
sisters
They're
are evil.
straight up evil.
They're
When
floating
you,
over water on a cloud of smoke. It's
exactly.
like,
When you arrive in black smoke, you're evil.
yeah, that's
You're evil.
Mom was right there.
Mom was right
Floating
in
in
the
the
very
air
beginning.
menacingly.
like masks and
Masks
stuff.
and everything.
I didn't quite like the backstory that they had with them being fairies coming down to the world to kill
Oh, yeah.
heroes, and then
No,
she.
I don't think they padded out enough. That's the reason. I think there wasn't enough telling us why they're doing this.
And even their love story, that was a bit of a confusion.
Yeah, the
there.
mom and the dad.
I mean,
is
oh,
kind of-
you are my quest, and they fall in love. I mean,
I
is
thought
love
that
that
was really
simple?
sweet.
You think so? I wish love was that so like it was so simple. I wish.
Give the children something.
This is a children's movie after all.
Right, cool. So let's wrap this one up. We'll start down this end.
I thought a great film. Sound editing. I don't think we mentioned sound editing well enough.
score
It was
was-
really well done.
Oh, yeah.
The
Oh,
the
yeah.
string, the music.
Oh,
it
that
had
was
guitars,
really
that's
nice.
so
The
good,
Japanese
wasn't it?
That was
traditional music
brilliant.
is-
Yeah, traditional.
I love that
Japanese
string
traditional
music.
music.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very nice.
So I would say Disney, look out.
Disney look out.
That's my three-word review. Because Leica's obviously they've done the
Oh, yeah,
other.
they're getting themselves on the map.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Sure,
They're
soon
definitely,
they'll get a lot of.
They seem to have good talent in their work. And good funding from Nike.
Nike.
That
Just do it.
Not promoting.
So my one is emotional but predictable.
Yeah, I suppose. So
It's-
the ending
yeah,
was a bit, you
these
kind of
two
guess
words.
where it's going.
Describes the film.
Describes the
well,
film.
emotional. Yeah.
Helena?
Mine was a beautifully animated story.
Yeah, I'm going on the same theme. I think it deserves the Oscar for best animated film.
Oscar.
That's
I'll-
quite
I'll-
That too.
I got a feeling
Big
Zootropolis will
expectation.
get it because of the money Disney pumps into these films, but I think the sheer talent and the effort that went into making such a beautiful
I
film,
think, like
it
you-
deserves some respect.
Like
it
you
deserves
said
something.
before, it's going to compete with Zootropolis.
Exactly, and Disney will probably get it because
Disney's gonna
it's a
get it.
favorite. I think this film,
Zootropolis was a very good film as well.
yeah, I mean, they probably had a team of 100 people just to animate the hair on one animation. So it's like,
Yeah.
But you never know, the intricacy of the stop motion might put it ahead.
yeah, of course. So yeah,
Possibly,
so-
yes.
Right, so before we move on to the preview, just a quick few other films to wrap up. Let's start off with Pam. You watched Bridget Jones's Baby
Oh.
for the rom-com fans out there.
Can't
You want to
get
give it a
over
quick?
it, man.
Just
Yeah.
give us a because you went out and watched it. So go ahead.
So I've been a Bridget Jones fan. I think so are you.
I am, yeah.
You read the books as well.
Yeah, I read this was
Yeah.
what confused me because I only read 2 books. I only knew about 2 books. So when
Oh.
another film came out, I
Wow.
was
So
a
is
bit
there-
confused.
So-
So is
Yeah.
there a book about the Bridget Jones baby?
no,
No.
What
not
happens
that.
in the
so
other
they-
2 books then?
Well, it's basically exactly what happens in
Oh,
the
in
film.
the first 2
Okay.
films.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So basically,
So it was a
this-
money grab. Like,
Yeah.
So this, let me just summarize the
Yeah.
film a little bit. So you know the same plot, Colin Firth, and then there is this new handsome guy who plays handsome jerk in most of the films. Yeah,
Yeah.
Dempsey.
yes,
Patrick
Patrick
Dempsey,
Dempsey,
yes.
and then Ron is Zellweger. Like basically it's about she's 43 and it starts off with her 43rd birthday and she's feeling all old and she's still single, and then she meets this. Bumps
guy.
into this handsome guy in a music festival. I'm just giving the
Yeah.
gist of the story. Yeah. And then, again, I think and then something happens between them.
Baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Baby
yeah.
shows
up. Oh, really?
Babies are and then I think in 2 days meets her former crush, Colin Firth. Yeah.
In free
No,
of
oh, sorry, crush. Underestimating.
putting it
Yeah.
lightly.
Sorry, yeah. The first love,
Yeah.
or So and
oh,
then.
was Colin Firth in the first
and-
film then?
Yes, of
First
course,
two.
yeah.
We're totally like, okay.
Don't say that. You should get the history down.
The
Rom-com.
Chronicles, man. Leo.
Chronicles of Bridget
Go
Jones.
Wikipedia, read out.
He's wiki about other Marvel, but
Like,
not Bridget Jones.
I'm just
Me.
representing the
Yeah.
fandom
Clueless.
who don't watch rom-coms.
So,
Not flashy. So basically, and
what did you
then-
like? What did you like?
Yeah. So I mean, I like the part, and so the main thing about the story is like, then she has relations with 2 men, and then she gets pregnant, and then tries to decide who's the father. So the whole
Well, it's
thing.
not a very
Because
difficult
it's a
decision, I
DNA test.
suppose.
I'm just saying.
There is one
but
easy
then,
test.
No, that comes later.
yeah.
Jerry
Listen
Springer.
up. Yeah. Yeah. But then the whole thing is about how these 2 men gets involved in her life and how much they want the baby to
be
be
theirs,
theirs.
yeah.
Yeah. And their whole involvement, it's quite emotional as well. And then she falls in love with, one of them. But I wouldn't tell
who is it?
whom. No, it's a suspense, yeah. But then again, basically, this whole story goes like, how none of them were ready to be fathers in the first place, but how...
No, at 43, you're definitely not. So.
So, is there anything you didn't like about it?
Didn't like about it. I love Bridget Jones. I don't think
I
I
suppose
could
as a
say
fan,
something.
you can't just, it's like me with Marvel films. I like them regardless.
Yeah, I would say about Patrick Dempsey, his character, it showed. He was trying to get Bridget,
Yeah.
but then again, his role was a little bit like a Casanova kind of. That's
just-
something I didn't like.
It's like a very fickle,
Yeah,
role,
he
like
just
shallow
meets.
role.
It's very normal. He meets her in the first day. They,
But suddenly he wants
some-
claim of the baby.
and claim the baby. And then it was a bit negative the way he was trying to push Colin Firth away, like that baby is mine,
Touch.
Whereas Colin Firth is quite quiet and reserved, and
Gentleman.
gentleman.
He's a gentleman.
But then he's angry inside as well.
Some other guy come up to take your baby. I'll be kind
I
of
didn't say it's his
Typical
baby, though, but
British
yeah, it's one of
politeness
them.
/ passive
Right,
aggressive.
so
But he could turn around and become his Kingsman character.
plot twist. That's a twist I like to see in a
Yeah,
film.
exactly.
So, your review. Yeah.
Three-word review is going to be awesome, fun-filled, and unpredictable. Because it's not predictable at all.
so the baby
I
is
couldn't
not
tell.
predictable then?
Yeah, because at one point
Maybe
you
the
would
baby
think...
becomes a third person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the third person.
No, at one
That's
point
the
you,
sequel.
At one
That's the
point, you would
sequel.
think that that Jack is Patrick Dempsey is the father, and then again,
Fair
few
enough.
minutes
It's
later,
good to
you're
keep
gonna
a big
think
gap
that
guessing
Colin
rather
Firth-
than-
So it's very confusing. It keeps you confused. Yeah.
Fair enough. Elena, you had the pleasure of watching a generic Seth Rogen comedy.
I wouldn't call it a pleasure. I was quite
Sausage
uncomfortable.
Party.
That's
film,
such a
yeah.
good film, isn't it? The
So
name
let's
is
try and
wrong.
keep this PG.
I mean, that's going to be hard.
PG film, it's just food. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
I'm surprised it was only rated a 15.
really. Okay.
Aw.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
it was definitely a traditional Seth Rogen
the-
film.
it's
So
toilet
you've
humor,
got
like
it's set
same guy.
in a
Seth
Rogen.
supermarket,
Yeah.
and you've got all the food, and they wake up and they're all happy and singing a song about how they're going to be taken by the gods, the humans,
And then they
and
just get
they
killed.
get taken to the great beyond, and then they start to find out that it's not so great because humans eat food.
Wow.
Plot twist.
Wow,
Plot
that sounds like a
twist.
very
Plot twist.
metaphorical Paradise Lost, etc.
I mean,
It's not. though.
I mean, is it just the same old gags now getting?
It's a heavy use of profanity
Yeah.
and crudeness,
Yeah, I'm
and,
assuming.
and not even innuendos.
And he
It's
brings-
just
and
in
it-
your face.
And he
Oh,
brings
is
his same crew of Michael Cera,
Michael Cera, Jonah Hill.
Franco.
I don't think
Is Franco in it? Wow.
Oh no, he might be. Yeah.
James Franco must be in it
He must
somewhere.
have
He
cameos
must be in it
somewhere.
somewhere.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. He's always in those films.
Right, let's
so.
just make this quick. What did you think? 3 words.
Stupid, vulgar comedy.
Oh wow! So, to the point.
To the point, it's not my kind of comedy
just-
because I like more direct observation.
Did you go with your
Sure.
guy friends? They dragged you there or what?
No. I went with one girl and one guy,
Okay.
and obviously the guy was wetting himself. He was laughing all the way through.
That's what
Exactly. It's a
and
very,
me and the girl were just kind of like,
What am I
it's a
doing
very
here?
acquired taste, really.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen
Then again,
comedy. Some
I'm not really
people
a
love
fan of
them.
his type of humor anyway. I mean,
no, it is.
if you like it,
very-
he'll bring in the bucks scene. They know what they're aiming for.
yeah,
All right, so
it's
moving
just
on.
lazy.
It's just lazy,
lazy.
copy and paste. Get the
Yeah.
money.
Hey, some people love this kind of humor.
Yeah.
Right, okay, Mo. Seth Rogen fan right there. Right, let's quickly move on to the previews. We've got a few films to run our way through. First up, Marvel film, which I'm looking forward to, Doctor Strange, starring
looking
Benedict
forward to it.
Cumberbatch,
Yeah.
Mads Mikkelsen, who's always awesome as a villain, I presume. Always is.
Yeah.
It's basically, let me give the description. A neurosurgeon with a disordered career sets out to repair his hands, only to find himself protecting the world from interdimensional threats. So that's the IMDb synopsis. So what I'm looking forward to doing this is, I think it brings us into all the other Guardians of the Galaxy and all the other big storylines kind of come together in this film from what I've heard. I mean, I missed Guardians of the Galaxy in the cinema and I kind of missed out the Marvel hype there. So I'm not going to miss out this one. I'm going to watch it.
Definitely.
I'm gonna,
Yeah.
I know you're a big Marvel fan, so you'll be.
I am, and with this movie, it's my opinion is really weird of it because it's kind of got the Batman Begins feel,
Yeah.
with a bit of Inception thrown in,
Very much. A lot of Inception.
with a dash of Marvel humor. But because it's Marvel,
That's a
I'm
winning
going to watch it.
You just gave out a winning combination.
Pretty
There's
much.
no way you can go wrong.
Right, following that, we got Jack Reacher, Never Go Back, which is a sequel to Jack Reacher.
To Jack Reacher.
Yeah. Thing about this film, starring Tom
Best
Cruise.
part is Tom Cruise's
Tom
character.
Cruise and Kobe Smulders, Robin, as I would
Yeah.
always
I mean,
call
I
her.
don't know if you guys have seen the first Jack
I
Reacher.
haven't.
It was a surprisingly
It was
good
just a film I just stumbled across on Netflix. I was never intending to watch
Yeah,
it.
it's
Let me,
on
I got a few hours school, let me watch this.
I was just expecting a typical like
It's very
action
gritty,
shooter, but it was
intense,
very
yeah.
intense, very atmospheric, and extremely well done.
I think Tom Cruise reached the point now where any film he's in, I always check it out now because he always makes a good choice.
True.
he makes very good choices.
He's
doesn't
like
he? At least with
DiCaprio,
films.
you know?
Yeah, I mean,
Like
for any
one of
action
those
film I see Tom
actors.
Cruise, I'm like, you know what, Edge of Tomorrow, Mission
Edge of
Impossible.
Tomorrow. Oh God, yeah.
I kind of good. I think he's in safe hands now.
True.
If I see a film with him,
Well, he's been in
action-wise, I'm like, you
his
know
films
what?
have been in
Vanilla
safe hands
Sky.
for a long while.
Yeah.
He's known as the
True.
100 million buck
You,
guy.
you two looking for this generic action film?
It does seem a little generic. Like
The trailer.
he's the
Against
rebel
government.
without a cause, and he's above the law, and he's against the law, and
Yeah.
the government is hunting him down. But I went back and watched the trailer for Jack Reacher because I never actually watched that either.
Okay.
And
It is on Netflix. We've got a few
Yeah,
hours.
I
Check
think
it
Yeah,
out.
Yeah,
yeah,
the
I'm probably
first
going
part
to check
as well.
it out.
Then the
because-
sequel will make a lot
The
more.
sequel will make more sense.
If you watch the trailer now, like, what it's just generic trailer. But if you watch the first
True.
one, probably reach out to you a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Next one up,
Keeping Up with
with the
the
Joneses, a little comedy
that
featuring.
looks
It's a
fantastic,
cast:
doesn't it?
John Hamm, Gal Gadot, Isla Fisher, Zach Galifianakis. He's lost so much weight for this. It's
Well,
He
Zach
looks like
Galifianakis?
I didn't even
I
recognize
saw
him.
it. I
I'm
just
like,
recognize
He looks
Whoa.
like a different person now.
So this film is basically, it's like Mr. and Mrs. Smith kind of
Yeah,
thing.
it is
So
kind
they
of
got some
like
new neighbors who are all like perfect.
Got a
They're
little
like,
bit of
they're just like
action as
everyday
well.
people who work in HR and stuff. And they're like amazing, handsome, rich people. And then they find out there's this whole
There's something
backstory,
going
they're
on.
secret agents and spies. So yeah, for me, the trailer looks pretty good actually. And
It
I think,
does.
you know what, I'll definitely give it a go. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if you guys are fans of that kind
No,
of.
I am. Yeah, it's got
I-
comedy as well as a little bit of action
the
mixed with
cast,
it. So I think
yeah.
it's a good
I think
combination.
every year you have a film like this coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That-
I was thinking about what films it reminded me of, and you're right. It's kind of
Mr.
like
and Mrs.
Mr. and
Smith.
Mrs.
Yeah.
Smith. But
It
you've
is
also
Mr. and
got
Mrs.
like
pretty much, yeah.
The Spy Next Door.
The neighbor thing.
Yeah,
Next
and
Door.
date night with
Was
the
that the
whole
Jackie
like
Chan film, The Spy Next Door?
Spy Next Door was the Jackie Chan film,
Jackie,
and
yeah.
then you've got the pacifier who's with
Triple
Vin,
H.
Vin Diesel.
Is that Triple H?
I'd love to.
I think it's Triple H. Oh no, that's Vin Diesel.
Yeah,
Triple H
exactly,
made that
it's
one, the
Vin Diesel.
chaperone.
Yeah,
been
and he was like the babysitter who was
Oh, okay.
actually a spy,
That's
and then Fun with Dick and Jane when you've got a comedy pairing who go out and have antics.
I'm just hoping it doesn't mirror Central Intelligence, because that kind of
I don't think it will. It looks a bit more classier than that.
a bit more classy.
Yeah.
The cast is very good.
Yeah, the cast is good, and sometimes you can tell from the trailers that
Yeah,
at least
it's
some
not-
aspects of the film will be good, and here it seems like at least the casting was quite well done.
Right,
And
right.
you're in good hands when you've got Zach and
You even had the like secret agent neighbor in Captain America too.
Yeah. Spoiler. Yes, she's a spy.
Jesus.
Right. Finally, last we go do one horror film because it's Halloween next month.
Scary.
I wish.
Not scary.
I thought it was
We
scary.
go back, so me and Lenny have
Lifted
like
me off my
history with
streets
this
when I watched
film.
a trailer.
Yeah.
So, Ouija, Origins of Evil.
Ouija.
Ouija?
Ouija. I think
Ouija.
we pronounce it
Ouija.
both.
Yeah, so it's basically, Ouija came out last year, I believe, and it's just a sequel to this. So it's like the backstory to why. So it's based on the game.
You watched the first part?
Yes, me and Lenny
Yeah.
had the privilege
Oh,
of
wow.
after work one day we
Perfect.
went to watch
Very
it.
good.
You should stay for the review. Definitely the second
We also
part.
like we went after work to watch it with our colleagues, and it was like we were the only people in the cinema, like the five of us. We were the
Yeah.
only people
That's
there,
telling.
and it was
Wow.
just so cliche.
Was it that bad?
Yeah, it's
Like,
probably one of the worst films I've ever seen.
do
That's
you
why I
really
had
want
to-
to review this? But I mean, it's a good choice for Halloween episode.
for the bands, I'll probably watch it.
I think
and,
it's
Why?
perfect
I
choice.
just.
I
Why
think
is
we-
it still a thing? Why did it get a sequel?
the first one was so. You know, I just pretty much chose this just to trash on it because the
Yeah.
first one was horrible. And like, this no way's gonna get a sequel.
Whenever
God.
there is a sequel with the word origin
Crushing
or
my
any
hopes now.
adjective with the word R, like resurgence
Let me
or
sell you. Let me sell it to you.
revengeance,
In
it's always shit.
1967, Los Angeles, a widowed mother and her two daughters had a new stunt to bolster the seance scam business, and are wanting to invite authentic evil into their homes.
Oh, it's so
sounds like
cliche. man.
sounds like The
But
Conjuring.
you know what? It probably would have been a better first film. Slightly.
Yeah, slightly.
You clearly
But the
look like
first
you
one I
want to
just
watch
painted
the
it.
film. Watch this one.
Well, I'm gonna watch it. 'cause
I think
it's-
all
I'm
of us have
probably
to,
still
right?
going to watch it just because I'm going to laugh all the way through.
You started it. Why not end
But
it?
it would have made a better film than the first one because it is quite funny. You do have those con
It's so good, it's
artists
bad.
that have seances
Oh,
and have
it's
people
so
shaking
bad
the
it's good.
room.
It's so bad,
It's
it's
like that. No,
Right. So yeah, so that brings us to our end of our previews. We'll have one little bit of fun now. We'll do a new section. And I'm going to throw in a question. And so I want you guys, you give your answer. We have a little discussion about it, right? So the question is, what's the worst film you've seen at a cinema? Basically means you paid to go and watch it. Not the worst film you just watched in general. So this has got the extra anger of, I paid for this. Right? So I'll start with this, right? There's a film called The Men Who Stare at Goats. Have any of you guys heard of it?
Never heard the name.
I've seen it.
I literally fell asleep.
Yeah.
This is the first and
That
only film
gives away how bad it
I've
was,
fallen
yeah.
asleep in.
There you
I honestly
go.
no idea what it's
But if you're
about.
staring at ghosts the whole film,
It was something
Yeah.
about.
I lost track
Yeah,
of what
George
was
Clooney and
happening.
Ewan McGregor. Well, that's a good cast.
it had a very good
Yeah,
cast.
it was really
And it's
good.
about something about American army torturing Guantanamo
So how's the
goats.
goats thing?
Oh, this is some
significant?
torture technique. I don't know. It's so bad.
They stare at
It literally is like. it was a film. It was a film we
I
watched.
thought
Like
that's an idiom, like
no.
whatever.
There was something like some technique where you look at the goats and
Metaphor.
the goats will like this. I think it was about technically you look at the goats and the goats die or something like that.
Serious?
Yeah.
Superpowers.
Or something like that. Basically,
really bad.
I don't think even the directors know what they were
This
doing.
was a film you watch, let's see what's in, oh, that's happening, let's go watch it, why not? It won't be that bad. So yeah, that was my worst film I've watched. Can you contend with that?
I could definitely contend with that. I had quite a lot of options. I
Yeah.
had like
So did I.
the date movie and disaster movie and all those
Oh.
that came after Scary Movie. Scary Movie was great. These were
The copy and
bad.
paste.
Yeah, I was really disappointed with the In-Betweeners movie.
Oh
But
yeah,
the
that was
worst.
such a disappointment.
Yeah, and then Ouija came into my head, and then Match Point that I saw years ago, and we were like, it's not about tennis. It's not about tennis.
about-
It was about tennis. But the worst film that I am so angry at myself for paying for is The Happening.
What? No.
Oh god.
That
is so-
film, just the trees are gonna kill us.
Don't spoil it for the viewers,
I
come
don't.
on.
I'm gonna spoil the
For
film.
this-
It is bad.
For this
The trees
film,
are the
I
bad.
will spoil it because
Yeah.
do not just don't even bother.
This is when M. Night Shyamalan really went off the grid. Like he went
Yeah.
total.
Like The Village could have been maybe forgivable. This was just off the charts, insane. Why?
Enemies
Just
are the
why?
trees.
And the grass. And if Oh, but it's pheromones spread by the wind, but if we split off into smaller groups, it won't get us. Just the logic, there's no logic. It doesn't make sense.
I see the logic.
And acting was
No,
top,
you don't.
And the acting was top notch. I don't know what happened there. Mark Wahlberg was pretty much dialing it in.
Just
For
act
quick
weird,
paycheck.
guys. Act weird. Perfect.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
do
what?
that.
We're not
Perfect.
gonna kill you.
That alone.
That scene was just the
And
worst.
Shyamalan's like, yo, that's the scene I want in the
Yeah.
film.
Exactly.
Perfect.
And
No
Zoe,
issue.
Zoe Deschanel as well. Like people are killing themselves around her, and she's like,
And there's no problem at all.
no.
Sounds
So
funny, man.
it was garbage.
Motionless.
Two
It was
garbage films.
So bad.
I think I'm sold. It's pretty bad.
So yeah, for me, like she said, I've got a couple of them, but I mean, one of them. Let me just list them down. It's
List-
gonna be quick. Ice Age 4, and then there was this film called Brain Dead, which is a '92 film. So I was a baby. I mean, obviously, I didn't go to the cinema. I watched it on a DVD later on. Yeah.
Yeah, we
so
will count it.
but it's a horrible film. But anyway,
I just want to get off my chest. I didn't like that.
It was so bad I had to discuss.
it's horrible.
please
The
know about
brain,
this.
like someone shoot them, brain melts. I mean, the graphics are bad. It's really bad. But
What?
anyway, yeah. Yeah. So, but the one that I'm going to talk about that I paid in the cinema,
Yeah.
like, and
That's what makes it
and
bad. I
I had a
paid.
bad time. Is going to be the Twilight Saga. I wouldn't say which.
Just
sequel.
the all of them.
Yeah, I kind of
Ooh,
like the
what is
first one,
garbage.
which made me go and watch the coming, like the upcoming ones. But then, which one was it? I think after the.
I don't have time
Yeah,
to
I think
I-
let's discuss New Moon, Eclipse, and then
I don't know.
Breaking Dawn.
I know
yeah,
that Breaking Dawn is the last
is
one.
the last one.
and
So
Eclipse
it's
and
one
New
of those
Moon
New Moon. Yeah, I
came
think
in the
where the vampire has a baby.
You're just going to club them all together.
It's just bad,
Vampire
yeah.
has a
So
baby.
And the-
I don't think we should talk more like about bad
I
things.
think-
Fair enough. He
Yeah.
says
Yeah.
it. He says it.
So let's be positive.
Jump
The,
down.
the vampires glitter. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah,
Why
it's
ruin
vampire bullshit,
vampires?
yeah.
There are no positives in this
Yeah,
section.
exactly.
We'll go with Mr. Controversial now. I've heard his answer.
I
But
think he's
just
got
tell him.
loads of films in his
Well, I
kitchen.
mean-
What was the worst film you paid to watch?
There are so many films to choose from. Happening was in my list.
What?
So was
No.
Battlefield Earth. I watched it someday, one time. It was a wrong decision. Never watched Battlefield Earth. But the one I was most disappointed by, and this is really because I had such high expectations for it, is The Dark Knight Rises. That is the one I paid so much money.
That's on the dislike
The
buttons.
hate
on the,
is coming.
That's all the hate, angry emojis on Facebook coming in now, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I've watched every Nolan film there is. I've watched.
Really? You didn't like it that much?
I had such high expectations.
it was never
for
going to
the
match
film.
Dark Knight, let's be honest.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
to be fair, it was never going to. But there were talks in the internet about how even Nolan thought this film trumped all his other films.
That's just PR though, isn't it? That's just...
Yeah, but you don't say that when you have such a loyal fan base.
Yeah,
You
it's
just don't say it and raise their expectations so high that it falls. So
I do have to kind of agree. I was expecting a lot. I paid to see it in the
IMAX.
IMAX
IMAX.
in Waterloo,
Aw.
and I'd read the comic beforehand as well to really hype myself up, and then
Then Bane
they
loved it.
changed it.
Yeah.
And just they changed the whole story with Bane and Natalia.
I'm going to break your back in the middle of a hole, then you just fly back
Exactly.
off him.
Yeah.
Bane knows everything, and everyone knows who Batman is. Everyone knows. I mean, yeah, I watched it a few times in the film,
Fair
the
enough.
cinema, to be
We're all
honest.
entitled to our
Yeah.
opinion. So yeah, that was which is a nice little side talk. No, not to do
Yeah.
anything else. So before we wrap up,
I think Happening wins, though. I think
Happening
really
wins by far.
just
Would you-
because of
would you-
how angry I am about it.
Would you, if Shyamalan came up with a Happening 2, and hear me out, and he said everything gets resolved, there's a reason for everything,
Nope.
would you go to watch it?
No,
Okay.
I'll watch it somewhere, but
I
will
would
not give
pay
him money.
people not to watch it. Just
Okay,
be
I
standing
think
at the cinema, just go.
that really
watch
explains.
anything.
Probably I'll
other
watch it when
than
I'm
this.
feeling really low.
But
Yeah,
hopefully,
chill.
Right?
hopefully Shyamalan is coming back to form after his
I don't know.
days off.
Who
God
cares?
knows what
Who cares?
happened.
Right, so that was a nice little side talking on just something to spice up the show.
Yeah.
Before we call it quits, Elenia is going to be off on a magical holiday for 6 months now. So
Yay!
thanks for joining us the last
Yay.
month or so, and
Amazing.
hopefully when you come back, we'll see you soon.
You can review films of whichever country you're in.
She's going to New Zealand with all the Lord of the Rings stuff out there.
Remotely.
I'll remote review stuff.
Remote reviews.
I'll
Skype
just
reviews.
put
For
Skype.
Wiki.
Yeah, put like mini
I think we
mini
can do that.
reviews. I
Yeah.
can do that.
You on the screen and we're talking
Right, so
high tech.
excellent. So
With,
let's
nice backgrounds.
tie a bow on this. That's today's show. Thanks for joining us, and that's a wrap.